Yesterday, the Supreme Court ruled against Colorado's ban on conversion therapy for LGBTQ youth. It's one of several recent cases the High Court has ruled on that has involved laws and challenges from our state, which makes it seem like Colorado is always at the center of the court. Our legal expert, Whitney Traylor, is here to speak the truth. Are we just being self-absorbed, saying it's all about Colorado, or is it true that it feels like a lot of cases have wound up at the Supreme Court?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think there has been a lot of cases, memorable cases for sure. And so there's a notion called visibility bias. So these cases are so memorable that they do kind of stay in the media and stay in our minds. But yeah, we are at the center of a lot of issues related to culture war issues, LGBTQ, religious freedom, reproductive rights. And so I think that's something that we are very active in. I think we have a very active Attorney General. I know I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm not going to dip too much into the politics, but I will say that I think A.G. Weiser has done a fantastic job prosecuting these cases, and as the top legal advocate in our state, advocating against federal overreach and things like that.
So Whitney, let me ask you, what goes into the decision to sue the federal government? What do you have to do?
Right. Well, there's a number of issues. You have to have legal standing, so that means the state has to be harmed in some way, financially, administratively, or there may be some federal overreach. There has to be a strong legal theory, so you can't just make things up. You have to actually have some theory there. And then there's the practical impact. And that's really an issue. And sometimes people do, both individuals and states will pursue a case knowing that it will likely get to the Supreme Court, and they want to, what they call, make law. Because as we know, at the trial court level, that doesn't create precedent. That's just between the parties that are there. When it gets appealed to the 10th Circuit here in Colorado or the U.S. Supreme Court, then that becomes binding. That's actually how we create law. It's called common law or precedent, stare decisis. So sometimes people will push cases forward knowing that they're trying to create law.
It's funny because I think there have been many times we've been talking about things out here and you say this one could go all the way. You've said that many times.
Yes.
And when you bring up, you don't want to get into the politics of things, okay. Democratic Attorney General Phil Weiser is running for governor. So some people would say, wow, he just files a case one day, another after another after another against the Trump administration. But what is the thought process behind that? Because let's be honest, a lot of states are suing the Trump administration.
So many states, and this Trump administration, love it or hate it, he has been a president of complete consequence. I mean, he's completely outside the box. And so I actually think it's good that these lawsuits are being pushed forward because, you know, if the court rules in Trump's favor or rules against him, okay, great. But now we're still flushing out our system. This is how it works. And some people would say, I think I saw a number that it was over 50 cases that A.G. Weiser has filed against the Trump administration. And some people would say that's excessive, but other people would say, no, he's protecting our rights. And really, I mean, this administration is completely pushing the envelope in so many ways. I mean, we're going to hear argument, is it today or tomorrow, on birthright citizenship?
This morning.
Was that this morning? Yes. And that's completely consequential. I mean, the notion that you can do away with the 14th Amendment constitutionally protected right with an executive order, I mean, that's just so far out of bounds. So you do have to push these cases forward to protect those rights.
Well, speaking of A.G. Weiser, do you expect more cases against the federal government coming from his office? Any on your radar?
Yes.
You want to share with us?
Yes, I think.
Give us the tea.
Right. Well, I can say it broadly. I think we're going to still see a number of cases dealing with immigration. I think we're going to see a number of cases dealing with environmental issues. And then, of course, this federal overreach, because this president has really, by using executive orders, they're laws, but they're not really laws. It doesn't go through Congress. It's the executive orders is how we govern. This is what the president does for these federal agencies. So, you know, he's used, the FBI or CIA, these kind of agencies to do different types of enforcement, which is something that we haven't seen before. So I think the pushing back on the executive orders is something that we'll still continue to see, and we should.
All the checks and balances, right? So
Yes.
they hear the arguments today.
Yeah.
I think we're expecting a ruling in June.
Yes.
Right? That's about standard, isn't it, with the Supreme Court?
Yeah, it depends. But yes, this is not unusual for the Supreme Court to take that long to issue a ruling. And you raise a great point. This is checks and balances. We're supposed to be co-equal branches of government. And right now, the executive branch, the president, is completely rolling over Congress. And I'm not making a political statement. I'm saying this as a legal expert. The Congress is it's not equal right now. And the judiciary, which has a lot of power, this term has actually given the president even more power when you can't be convicted of these federal crimes. And there's a number of things that the Supreme Court has done to expand, I think, the executive branch. So, and this is a fundamental tenet of our democracy. I mean, this is what the Constitution did. Limits the federal government and creates these three co-equal branches of government, which we're seeing get pushed around right now.
Go to ChatGPT, right, and start getting your little basic legal notes together because all these things matter so much.
Yes.
So thank you, Whitney.
Sure, it's
Very
good to be here.
insightful. Thank
All right.
you.